Hi, my name is Kieran O'Rourke. I'm 27 years old and I'm an Aeroelastics Engineer at Airbus UK. In my job, I'm generally on any one time involved on a number of different aircraft projects. So Airbus could be developing several different aircraft, and my particular role would be performing calculations on numerous different aircraft, different designs, whether they be new aircraft, sometimes aircraft that are already in service. So it's a very wide and varied job. The calculations that I perform relate to the flexibility of the aircraft. So although the aircraft are quite strong, made out of aluminium, they do flex in flight. So I have to carry out some calculations to try and determine how much the aircraft will, for example the wing, how much it will distort during the flight. If you can get it to distort in the way that you want, you can make it use less fuel or fly further, carry more passengers. Because the job I do is quite planned, it's not very reactive. I usually know in advance the sort of things that are coming up. So during the day I might have to build some models on the computer. Most of our calculations are done on a computer, so I might build some models and look at the results from the calculations. But the other aspect of the job is also being in meetings, discussing with other engineers what the results mean, or perhaps planning the next piece of work. The department that I work for is split between here in Bristol, Hamburg in Germany, and Toulouse in the south of France. So sometimes we have to work with our colleagues from France or Germany, even travel to France or Germany. Sometimes it could be as simple as a telephone call or a video conference, but it's usually quite varied. In my job I don't have to travel that frequently, but when we do, yeah, it can sometimes mean having to leave quite early in the morning and perhaps not get back to quite late at night. But no, in general, on a typical week, you can work from 8-9 o'clock in the morning. It's quite a flexible start time through to 4 or 5 in the evening, and a half day on a Friday. One particular piece of work I'm doing at the moment is for a research project where Airbus would like to try and put some new pieces onto an existing wing. So I've been trying to do some calculations to help the design engineers work out how big this piece needs to be, what shape it needs to be. So we were having some problems with this particular calculation, and just quite recently we've got to the bottom of it, and we've been able to deliver a good specification to the people who need the result and say, look, this is good to go on the aircraft. Well, I think for me a good day is perhaps when I've got to the bottom of something that's been going wrong in some of our models, or perhaps a particular calculation hasn't worked and you have to try and get to the bottom of where the problem was. Or also I'd say a good day for me is perhaps when I've learned something new, or perhaps when I've been able to advance a particular piece of work or meet some new people. I think a bad day is probably when someone comes to see me to say, look, this is all going wrong, and adds another piece of work on my desk and then another piece of work on top of that. A bad day could be when you just can't seem to understand what's going wrong with your particular calculation. You can't see how you might fix it. I would say to be able to work in a large multinational company like Airbus, you need to be a good team worker. You need to be able to fit into a team. You need to be able to communicate with other people. Perhaps languages could be an advantage, although the international language of Airbus is English. Having knowledge of French or German or Spanish could always be good. But I would say the key thing is to be a good team player, to be enthusiastic, to be able to work closely with other people, and to be quite dynamic. I've been in the one job since about 1.5 years now. So my current role is developing into perhaps something where in 2, 3, 4, 5 years' time I'd quite like to have a little bit more technical experience, but also build up some experience of managing people, or perhaps experience of working with our colleagues in France and Germany. Something which gives me a little bit more exposure to other aspects of aircraft design.